Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, indeed. Good morning, KOD Nation. Good morning, Yankees Universe. You degenerates, wake up and get your coffee. First and foremost, salute to you guys. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. First and foremost, before we start off, thoughts and prayers go out to everybody, that was affected by the situation that happened yesterday in Texas. I had some family in Texas that I reached out to, but thoughts and prayers to everybody who was from the state of Texas. If you was affected by that situation, our thoughts and prayers here from Yankees Morning Brew and from KOD. We would definitely send our thoughts and prayers out to you guys, But last night's game, just to clear it up, last night's game, my man Jose Trevino, our amigo, he went off. And also, your boy is a little bit of a psychic, because I called the Gleyber Torres home run. He ain't just hit just one, but he hit two. You feel me? I'm about to figure out if I could get me and Jigga Man some lotto numbers, because we need to hit the lotto after last night. But also, we got some bad news also, and I'm going to start it off with here. Giancarlo Stanton, he had to leave the game after just 2 at-bats because of a lower leg issue. If you guys saw the post-game interview with Aaron Boone, he said that it was after, he was warming up in the cage. He came to Aaron Boone and said, you have to take me out. I feel something in my lower leg. So he's off for an MRI today of that lower leg. So we don't know if it's a calf issue. We don't know if it's Achilles issue. We don't know if it's a shin strain. We don't know what it is, but hopefully it's not nothing major. And hopefully Giancarlo can come back healthy, because we need him in this lineup, just like with Gleyber Torres. 2 home runs yesterday. A nice defensive play in the infield. Seeing Gleyber Torres back, I'm not sure if it was because Miguel Andujar is now back with the Yankees, but Gleyber Torres has his childhood buddy, his buddy from when he was a rookie, Andujar and Gleyber Torres had solid rookie seasons together. Andujar should have won Rookie of the Year. Gleyber Torres was injured off and on that season. But hey, man, Miguel Andujar is back. Hopefully it gives us a little bit of boost in the outfield. But like I was saying, the aforementioned Jose Trevino, our amigo. Jose Trevino, shout out to Jose Trevino. He had a phenomenal game yesterday. More deep meanings of the game in a little bit. I'll get into it. But he had a home run. He had the tying hit. And he had the game-winning hit. Trevino, our amigo. And also, as well, it was a bit emotional at the end of it, because he let us know, hey, Coach Richie, good morning, my guy. Let's go Tigers. Okay. Gotta love it. When it comes to Trevino, in the post game when he was being interviewed, he let us know why he was so emotional. Not just being that he was from Texas. Hey, Midope, what's good, my guy? Click that link and jump on over to YouTube, buddy. But yeah, when it comes to Trevino, he let us know why he was so emotional yesterday. Not just because he grew up in Texas, 15, 20 minutes away where this tragedy happened, but his father. He grew up with his father being a diehard Yankee fan, right? He grew up with his father practicing and teaching him game-winning hits at Yankee Stadium. So when you watch the replay of last night's game and you rewatch that game-winning hit, as he's circling the base path, right, you see him puts his hands up, and if you read his lips, you can see him saying the word Papi. Papi, this for you. Papi, this for you. I'm not going to lie. Watching that interview, and just now, just me even just repeating it, got a little bit choked up. I'm not going to lie. Got a little bit choked up. I learned the game of baseball from my uncle who, passed away at the beginning of 2020. I miss him to death. But hearing Jose Trevino last night, sharing his thoughts about his father, and being that it was his father's birthday as well, it hit home, and it was a great moment to take away after last night's game. But like my guy Keith said here, Jose. That is a fact. Good morning, my brother. Absolutely, Keith. I hope you was doing well on this Wednesday morning. Happy Wednesday. Hope you're doing well, bro. Hope you're doing well out there on the field. But yeah, solid game last night. There's a lot of things to get into. We got some more trade rumors going on with the Yankees. Not sure if we could put any volume to it. My guy Ropey is in the building. Me Ropey, how are you doing? How are you doing? And Keith, I'm not sure if you heard it yesterday, but Keith, I know you be at them Yankee games, players. Shoot me a DM. Let me know when you go into the next one. I want to tag along with you. I'm saying that right now. Last time I was at the game, my girl, she on one of our first dates, we went to the game. We was right behind home plate. I believe it was against the Toronto Blue Jays, if I'm not mistaken. But it was Texas Rangers. But it was an awesome game, and I'm dying to go back to the stadium. It's been a few years, but let's get into the lineups before I get into anything else. I'm going to start off with the Oreos, because why not? Start off with the Oreos lineup. Right now, as you can see, they sent out there Cedric Mullins. Cedric Mullins was 0 for 5. Trey Mancini as well was 0 for 5. Anthony Santander, who's been like the Yankee killer this season so far, early on in the season, a little baby David Ortiz going on. But Anthony Santander, Jordan Montgomery, and the rest of the Yankees pitching was able to keep him to 0-5 on the night. Let's see, Midope. He said, let me see this. He said, I will be in New York first week of July. Let's try and watch a game. Midope, hit me up, and let's set it up, baby. I'm down to watch a game, bro. You know, last time me and you went to Yankee Stadium, we was almost kicked out. And that's true. That's true. All right, this is a story. I had a close friend that I went to high school with, was working Yankee Stadium security. But he was working the suites, the Delta suites that are right behind home plate. Right. So what happened was, this was the hookup at the time. He's not there anymore, but at the time, me and Midope went to Yankee Stadium. We brought the cheapest tickets, probably $15 a piece, if that, $15-17 a piece, if that. So we brought the cheapest tickets. We went right by the Delta suites. Told my boy, I'm not gonna say his name on air. I was like, yo, coo. And he came right there. He gave us the wristbands. We was right in the Delta suites, but there was like several times that he had to tell us, like, calm down. You guys are almost gonna get kicked out. But it was an awesome time, Midope. Glad you come back to the city and we could have one of those adventures again. Hopefully we don't get kicked out this time. But yeah, continuing on, Santander was 0 for 5. Austin Hayes was 1 for 5. You got Ryan Mountcastle, who had a solid game, was 2 for 5. Adley Rutschman, the rookie phenom, was 1 for 4. You know, Urias was 1 for 3. Rugi Odor, was 1 for 4. And Jorge Mateo, another Yankees former prospect, was 1 for 4. Now, Austin Hayes had a solo home run to right field that, you know, a lot of other teams, other fan base always is criticizing the Yankees whenever the Yankees hit that home run. But look, an opposite player hit that home run from the other team. It's not just the Yankees home run. Other teams could come into Yankee Stadium and take advantage of that short porch in left field, just like Austin Hayes did last night. It was a pitch that was well outside the strike zone. It was damn near in the right and the left-handed batter's box, but Austin Hayes just reached out, clumped that right into right field. It's a Yankee Stadium home run. What are you going to do? Sometimes you're going to get them, sometimes you're not. He said, yes, sir. The Angels are in town next week. If I grab some tickets, I got one with your name on it. My man, Keith, I will be there. You feel me? I will be there, or I will be square. Drinks on me then for that night. But over to the pitching side, hopefully that happens, because I would love to see Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani. But to the pitching side, Orioles sent out their left-handed Bradley Zimmerman, and he went 6 1/3 of an inning. He gave up 6 hits, 4 runs, 0 walks, and 5 Ks. So the Yankees got to him early. You know, you had the home run, 2 home runs from Gleyber Torres. You had a home run from Jose Trevino. So from the beginning of the game, and I called it that Torres was going to have a home run, but from the beginning of the game, the pressure was on the Orioles. It was just that 7th inning, Michael King, but I'll get into that. Let me just finish this. Then the Orioles sent out Gillespie to help Zimmerman get out of that jam. He pitched the 3rd of an inning, 2 hits, 1 run, no walks, no strikeouts. Then they sent out Aiken. Aiken pitched 2 1/3, no hits, no runs, no walks, and 6 strikeouts. Well, 3 walks and 6 strikeouts. Then the former Yankee, the phenomenal reliever from the Oreos, Dylan Tate, who is nasty. I'm really like what I'm seeing from Dylan Tate. But Dylan Tate, he pitched the inning. He gave up no hits, no runs, one walk, and one strikeout. And then you had Baker, who came in the the bottom of the 11th, and he gave up the game-winning hit to Jose Trevino. But he pitched the third of an inning. He gave up 3 hits, that game-winning run, a walk, and one strikeout. The losing pitcher for record for the Oreos was Baker. Sometimes you're going to have it, sometimes you're not going to have it. That's just how baseball is. And yesterday, Jordan Montgomery was solid for us. He pitched 6 innings yesterday of pure dominance. It looked beautiful. But Jordan Montgomery, the Yankees gave him an early lead. He pitched 6 innings. He gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, no walks, and 5 Ks. It's just when he got into the 7th inning, he just couldn't get it out. He couldn't get it out in the 7th inning. So then you have Michael King came in. Michael King, who has been struggling as of lately. He hasn't been as dominant and as sharp as he was to begin the season. He gave up 2 hits. He gave up 3 runs, 1 walk, no strikeouts, and the 2/3 of the innings that he pitched. Then you had the phenomenal Lucas Licky come out. He pitched the third of an inning just to get that 1 out. No hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Then you had our closer. And this is a gutsy move by Aaron Boone. He hasn't come out and said that Clay Holmes is our closer, but we all know as Yankee fans, if you're watching the games, you know Clay Holmes is our closer, right? It's automatic. You know that. But last night, Clay Holmes came in the 8th inning. In the 8th, he only got 10 pitches in, so he didn't get taxed that much. So you could expect to see Clay Holmes tonight against the Oreos, but in the inning that he pitched, no hits, no runs, no walks, and 2 strikeouts, and looked filthy, getting that 98, 100 miles an hour sinker in on the hands on a few guys. It was filthy. But then after that, you had Wandy Peralta, the wonderless, the ageless one, Wandy Peralta. He pitched the inning. He gave up 1 hit, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. But then you had the young man Clark Smith come in, and in the 10th inning, he gave up a run. The top of the 11th, he gave up a run, 1 hit, and 1 inning. But that run was unearned because it was the runner that was on the base. No strikeouts as well for Clark Smith. Right now is a chance for Clark Smith to prove himself in this Yankees bullpen. Clark Smith has been one of the prospects, our pitching prospects for the past few years that, it just hasn't panned out. Let it be for injury, let it be opportunity, however you want to put it. Clark Smith hasn't found his way to be, productive on the major league roster. Last night, he showed in the inning that he worked. Yeah, he gave up that run, but it wasn't really his fault because it was the extra runner that was on base. Me personally, I would have never brought in Clark Smith in that situation. But with the way the Yankees bullpen is right now, you got to get outs from whoever you could get outs from. Point blank, period. Clark Smith was a player that normally was a starting pitcher in the minors. So having him coming to the 11th, the 10th, 11th inning and having him to deal with that runner on second base, that may have thrown him off a little bit, just a little bit. But hey, it's baseball, Susan, as they say, and in that bottom of the 11th inning, when the Yankees were losing 5-4, they came back. They rallied. You had IKF getting the game tying hit, Jose Trevino getting the game winning hit. But if it wasn't for Miguel Andujar a few innings prior to that, inducing that fly ball to right field, allowing the runner to tag up, Torres to tag up from second to third, right there, if that scenario would have never happened, we probably would have never been in extra innings. That probably would have never happened. But hey, hindsight is 2020. We got the win. It is what it is, and we just got to be thankful for it. It was sloppy, but a win is a win. And this Baltimore Orioles team, it's not looking like the Baltimore Orioles teams from the past prior years. This young team has an edge to them. They want to be spoilers. They just don't want to come in and just roll on the floor and just allow you to get a win. No, they're going to battle you. They're going to battle you. They're going to put effort out there, and they're going to do everything they can to try to get that W away from you. So we lost the first game yesterday against them. We was able to get away last night. and today's the rubber game. So tonight, let's continue this going. And on top of it, the Yankees are the first major league team this year in baseball to get to 30 wins. That's right, 30 wins. You gotta be happy with that. I know a lot of Yankee fans wish we were undefeated and we could go 162-0, but that just didn't happen. Not even in MLB The Show. Like, even if you was to, like, make all your players 99, even in the baseball games and the video games, that doesn't happen. You can't go 162-0. So in a major league season, you can't expect that as well. Keep my guy 30-30. Absolutely. That's what I'm feeling right now. 30-32. Absolutely. So, with that being said, it's been a lot of rumors, going on with trades and who the Yankees going to get and who should they get or unload the farm system for once. Who should they unload the farm system for? Now, you guys know that I've been a big fan of Cedric Mullins from the Oreos, but a move for that, I don't think that will ever happen. I love me Ketel Marte from Arizona, but the Diamondbacks, they're in a tough NL West, and they're still competing. So I don't think that will happen. I love the rumors of Andrew Benintendi from the Kansas City Royals, but he's having the best year of his career on a walk year. So do you trade for Benintendi, or do you wait to the offseason to sign him? A big reason why I would bring Benintendi over here is because he could spot you in any of the three outfield spots. He's a left-handed batter. He doesn't strike out that much, and he's a contact hitter. Those are the main reasons why I want Andrew Benintendi. But I'm going to keep on going. The Juan Soto rumors, they just keep heating up. I don't think that a Juan Soto deal would happen this year. It's most likely going to happen in the offseason or next year, if I'm being realistic. Would I want it to happen this year? Absolutely. Sign me up, give him that contract extension, but I just don't think it will happen this year. There's rumors out there that the Yankees and Judge are going to try to work something out before arbitration. And I was literally just talking about this a couple days ago or yesterday. The Yankees need to work this out before it hits arbitration. If it hits arbitration and the Yankees got a list why they don't like Aaron Judge or why they don't think Aaron Judge deserves this type of money, that's just going to leave a bad taste in Aaron Judge's mouth. And going into the offseason, you don't want that to happen, right? So let's try to avoid that at all times. My cousin David, what's good? Hit that link in my bio. Jump over to YouTube, my guy. But yeah, if you look around it, let's go around the league real quick. I know it's a bit early, but we could go around the league and check it out. And shout out to KOD, Nice Adijin. The draft was yesterday. I was at my doctor's appointment, so I had the draft. I think draft's today. Yeah, draft is today. My bad. But yeah, I had my doctor's appointment yesterday. Everything is looking up, everybody. Everything is looking up. So just know that your guys out there recovering, trying to get better. But like I was saying, looking around the league. Oh, let's see. My guy Keith, he got some news. He said, I heard the Yankees are willing to make a deal during the season. Guess the ball's in Judge Chambers. Absolutely. It definitely is in Judge Chambers. Keith, absolutely. And, I think it's July, the middle of July is when arbitration is. So the Yankees need to get that done this summer, and they need to get that done ASAP because the ball is literally in Judge's Chambers. So with the AL East, the Tampa Bay Rays, who we will be seeing soon, they're 25-17. They're 4.5 games behind us. So they're they're slowly making their way to get up to us, slowly making it. We had a 6-game lead against them. That was the high mark. Now it's 4.5 games. But we got more space against Toronto. Toronto's 23-20. They're seeming to top off. They're 7 games behind us. The Boston Red Sox went on that hot streak, but they're still 20-22. And the Central, Minnesota has been on fire. And Gary Sanchez has been a part of that. I hate to say it, but the truth is the truth. But Minnesota is 27-7, is 16. The White Sox are 21-21, and the Cleveland Guardians are 18-21. That's just how it is for the moment. But I think this race will shake out. I think the Cleveland Guardians aren't going to be as bad as a lot of people may think. I think the Cleveland Guardians are going to have that same energy the Baltimore Orioles have, wanting to play spoiler, wanting to not just give up anytime they face a team that's they're supposed to lose on paper. So the Guardians will probably get a lot of from. The Houston Astros, 28-16. The Astros are the Astros. But the Angels, that's who I'm most excited for out the West. The Angels is who I really, really want to see. So hopefully in a couple weeks when I'm at the game with my guy Keith, I could try to get some footage of Shohei Ohtani and my guy Mikey Trout. But on to the NL. And you got the New York Metropolitans. O'Keefe's like 3 World Series teams this year will make the playoffs really interesting. Yeah. 3 W's. Yep. And then when you look at the divisions and how it's set up, right? To me, the craziest race is going to be that National League West. When you got the Dodgers, the Padres, and the Giants. And then the Arizona Diamondbacks, who I just mentioned. All 4 of those teams are over 500. The Diamondbacks are 23-22. The Giants are 23-19. The Dodgers are 28-15. And the Padres are 28-15. And the Dodgers are 29-13. So that NL West race is going to be something to watch. And that's going to this is like the best division in baseball that I've seen in years. I don't remember the last time there's been a division that had this much parity in it. Honestly, I remember when the NL West used to they all used to be bad, but that was back in the day when they had Jake Peavy, my man Midope. How much does the Yankees are going to give Judge if he stay healthy and get 40+ home run? Can we afford him? We absolutely can't afford him, Midope. And me personally, I said this yesterday and the day before. If the Yankees want to re-sign Aaron Judge, right? And they and it's going to take money to get them. I would say 7 years, 315 to 320. If you divide that up, let's see, 315 divided by 7, that's going to give you $45 million a year. So if it's 320 divided by 7, it's going to have 45 to 46 a year. So 45.7. That will make him the highest paid player in all of baseball. He may not have the years when it comes to the length of years, like a Bryce Harper got, or even a Garrett Cole, but annual salary per year, he's going to be the highest paid player in baseball. And with the season he's having right now, you can make an argument that he deserves to be the highest player in baseball. You know, me personally, as much as I love Aaron Judge, as much as I love what we're seeing out of Aaron Judge, would I rather Mike Trout? It's a 50-50 at this time. But we're just going to have to hold off and wait to receive for the rest of the year. We could have had Mike Trout if we didn't sign Mark Teixeira, but hey, that's hindsight. You know, I don't think he is worth being the highest. Okay, like I said, that's arguable. That's a conversation to have. But when you look at his numbers, I'm pull him up right now. When you look at his numbers, he is leading the league when it comes to a lot of these stats. Now, one thing that I have an issue with when it comes to Judge, that a lot of his home runs, they do come on solo shots. That's one thing that I could say that I have an issue with. When it comes to his home runs, he does have a lot of solo home runs. If you look at his home runs, he has 17 home runs and he has 35 RBIs, 36 RBIs. That's a little over 2 runs per home run. You know, so a lot of his home runs are solo shots. That's the only thing that I could say I have an issue with. But he's hitting 314, 17 home runs, and those 35 RBIs. You know, he's leading the Yankees in all of those stats, in RBIs, and batting average, and home runs. You know, so you can't be 100% mad at him. You know, and then when you look at like his last 7 days, it did even better. Hold on 1 second. Let me just get last 7 days. Aaron Judge's stats, he's hitting 308. He has 2 home runs, and he has 6 RBIs in his last 7 games. So his stats is adding up. And it's not like it's just feast and famine. Look what we're getting from Anthony Rizzo. Or look what we got from Luke Voigt these past couple of years. It was either feast or famine. It was a home run or low batting average. And that's what you don't want. You know, I'm glad that Aaron Hicks got a couple hits. Jesus Christ. I thought I hit the lotto yesterday reading the box score and seeing Aaron Hicks got 2 singles. In the bottom of the 9th when he almost won the game, I literally texted Jigga Man and was like, listen, if there's ever opportunity that my life is on the line and I needed Aaron Hicks to get a hit for me to survive, I'm pulling the trigger myself. And that's 100% facts. I'm not going to rely on Aaron Hicks to save my life whatsoever. But glad that he got his 2 hits yesterday. Glad that he's trying to find it. Aaron Hicks, he shouldn't be trying to focus on hitting that home run. That's when he gets lost. When he focuses and he just zones in trying to hit that 5-run home run or that 8-run home run, it just doesn't translate to his body and what he could do on the field. He said he is having a great season, but from that to be the highest paid player in baseball, I just don't know. Mirope, I get what you're saying, but Aaron Judge, ever since he's come into the league, Cons, what's good, my guy? Listen, hit that link in the bio, jump over to the YouTube for the conversation. But ever since he's been in the league, he's been the most underpaid player in Major League Baseball, right? That rookie year he had when he had 50 home runs, he only made about $600,000 to $700,000 on the baseball field. Granted, did he get a lot of endorsements off the field? Did he make his money off the field? Absolutely. Absolutely, Aaron Judge made his money off the field. But at the same time, he was paid little to nothing when it comes to major league players and the salaries. A big thing that came out the other day that I found interesting, DJ LeMahieu, he had an MRI as well that was done, and his MRI came back clear. So he most likely won't play in tonight's game. They gave him a cortisone shot, so he'll have today off. He'll most likely come back tomorrow or the day after. But when it comes to DJ LeMahieu made it 10 years in the major leagues. It was his anniversary a couple days ago where he broke that mark. It's a phenomenal mark, 10 years in the majors. But did you guys know that the average major league player, they only play about 3.5 years in the major leagues? That's just something I didn't know. If that was to be like a trivia question on who wants to be a millionaire, I would have been lost and I would have been got out in the first round. Use all my lifelines. He said, Mirope, if we don't pay him, someone else will. He's worth every dollar. He has been the most consistent player since number 2 was here. Hey, that's a solid argument as well, Keith. That's a solid argument. Ever since Derek Jeter retired, Aaron Judge has taken the mantle of the face of the Yankees, and he has represented the Yankees the way I want the Yankees to be represented when it comes from the players. The way Aaron Judge speaks with the media, sometimes he sounds like a robot, but the way he speaks with the media, the way he interacts with the kids, you guys seen it when he was in Toronto. Aaron Judge is good for baseball. He's good for the sport of baseball. The Yankees need to pay him because, Mirope, just imagine this, a worst case scenario. He signs with Queens. He signs with the Mets. Steve Cohen calls him up like, all right, I'll give you 10 years, 380. He'll take that in a heartbeat. I know I would, but he'll take that in a heartbeat and boom, we would be asked out. There's no way to sugarcoat it. And that's the worst case scenario, right? A lot of people say he grew up on the West Coast. He's a West Coast kid. Yes, absolutely. He grew up on the West Coast. He grew up a West Coast kid. But his father grew up, or his adopted father grew up as a Red Sox fan. So Aaron Judge used to root for the Red Sox when he was younger. A worst case scenario is Aaron Judge signing with the Boston Red Sox. And with the Boston Red Sox, they're talking about trading their shortstop. JD Martinez money comes off the book. So they would have the money to spend for an Aaron Judge. Is that a scenario that I would want to see Aaron Judge in a Boston Red Sox uniform? No way. That's heartbreaking. I think I would cry. I think as a 32-year-old adult, I would cry if that was to happen. I'm not even joking around. Those two are the worst case scenarios. Now, if he was to sign with the Dodgers or the Giants or the Padres, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't care because we're never going to see him if he signs with only in the World Series, if that. Because during the year, you really don't see West Coast teams that much. I think Red Sox money will be for Devers. Hopefully, they said that they're not going to. They're trading away Xander Bogaerts, but the money that Rafael Devers is going to command, it's not going to be nowhere close to the money that Aaron Judge is going to command. Midope, and with the Red Sox, I think they will re-sign Devers. It's just you cannot have both Devers and Xander Bogaerts on that side of the infield, right? Because they're both bad defensively. Yeah, Midope, when you look at Rafael Devers' numbers, they're nowhere near. Hold on. They're nowhere near Judge's numbers. Now, don't get me wrong. I've been a huge fan of Ralphie Devers ever since he came into the majors. But this year, he's batting .337, 10 home runs. Hold on. He's having his best year in his career. This is a walk year, so you would expect that. But no, defensively, he is horrible defensively. He's one of the worst rated defensive third basemen in baseball. But right now, he's having a career year with batting average. He's batting .337. He got 8 walks on the season, 33 strikeouts, but he has 10 home runs, 25 RBIs. Now, if you look back at prior seasons, last year he batted .279, 38 and 113. The year before, he batted .263. Granted, it was the pandemic season that was shortened, but he batted .263, 11 home runs, 43 RBIs. The year before that, he batted .311, 32 and 115. So Rafael Devers has 2 seasons in his career with 30 home runs, right? But then when you look at Aaron Judge, we all know his rookie year, 50 home runs, the injury seasons last year, and the year he's having this year. And shout out to my guy, Delano Still Jr. Salute, DSJ. Glad to see you back. Glad to see you around. Hope all is well. I know you out there working right now. I hope you are doing well, my guy. Now, bring up Aaron Judge's stats. Oh, I'll tell you wins above replacements right now. His WAR, Rafael Devers' WAR. Hold on. Don't even have it. Hold on. I'll give you his WAR in a second. Let me just get up Aaron Judge's stats. Now, Aaron Judge, these past few years. This year, he's hitting .314. We already know that, 17 and 34. Last year, he hit .287, 39 and 98. The year before that, when he was injured, shortened season, he hit .257, 9 home runs, 22 RBIs. 2019, injured as well, but he still hit .272 with 27 and 55 RBIs. The year before that, injured as well, .278 with 27 home runs and 67 RBIs. And then we all know his rookie season, what his rookie season was, when he hit .284, 52 home runs, and 114 RBIs. Now, wins above replacements, the WAR, I'm not sure why it's not popping up, but that's a stat that I always love, wins above replacements. So I'll get it for you right now. Bear with me 1 second. Aaron Judge's WAR. Seem to not be able to find that. But I'll find it and I'll have it for you tomorrow. I'll make a graphic and everything like that for you tomorrow, Midope. So we could break down both Rafael Devers and Aaron Judge that wins above replacements. I would love to see Rafael Devers in a Yankee uniform. Don't get me wrong, just because he's a left-handed hitter. You know, that's one thing the Yankees have been lacking ever since, Matsui and all those great lefties we had in our lineup, we've been lacking left-handed hitters. We haven't had big-time left-handed sluggers in a long time. And Rafael Devers, that's what he is. Now, defensively, that's the issue. Rafael Devers defensively, just like Xander Bogaerts defensively, aren't the best when at their position. Now, would I sign Rafael Devers? Yeah. Now, is the money he's going to get? Now, this is the thing. Is the money he's going to get compared to Judge annually be close to each other? No. Will Rafael Devers get more years? Yes. Rafael Devers is going to get more years than Aaron Judge just because he's younger. If I'm not mistaken, I think Rafael Devers is anywhere 25, 26, 27, with Judge being in 30. So right there, you could just tell Rafael Devers is going to get more years. Now, is the total value of the contract going to be more than Judge? That I'm not sure, because if Rafael Devers is making 30 times 10, that's 300 million. And if we give Judge 315 over 7, that's just 15 million more. But Rafael Devers is worth 30 to 35 million a year. I never said he wasn't. I wouldn't say that Rafael Devers is worth 20 or 15. No. Don't get me wrong, Rafael Devers is definitely worth 30 to 35 million. Don't get me wrong. But he's not going to be what Judge is demanding when it comes to 45 million a year. That's the only point that I was trying to make, just so we can clear it up. Defensively, I'm not a fan of Rafael Devers, but offensively, he's phenomenal. He's a stud. That I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie when it comes to that. Both him and Xander Bogaerts are having phenomenal years. I just don't think Judge is worth the 40 plus years. That's just me. Hey, I agree. But when you look at Judge is a Gold Glove outfielder. Judge can play right field and center field. Judge's walks are a lot better than Rafael Devers. So if and then also too, it's the whole New York thing and the media aspect of it and the popularity. Aaron Judge is one of the faces of baseball. When you ask some random person on the street who doesn't follow baseball like that, if they can name a baseball player, they could probably name Aaron Judge. Just like back in the days, if you was to ask some random person, hey, who's your favorite baseball player? They're going to name Alex Rodriguez or Derek Jeter. That's just what it is. But baseball has a lot of things working for each other. There's been a lot of disappointments early this year. The Braves, they haven't lived up to the expectations. I'm not sure if it's Freddie Freeman leaving and that leadership out the clubhouse, but they haven't done what they were supposed to do. Matt Olson hasn't worked out for them. There's been a lot of disappointments in baseball. And this is a question I wanted to ask you guys, and I asked myself this last night. Is this Yankees starting rotation pitching that good? Is our pitching that good? Or is it just that the offensive numbers in baseball overall are just that bad this year? Because if you look at the overall look when it comes to batting average, it's down 20 to 30 points from what it was last year. Home runs individually, some players are having phenomenal years like Aaron Judge, but some teams aren't hitting home runs at the same rate. So I just wonder, is it the offense that bad this year or the pitching is just that good? Did they go back to the balls that aren't juiced or they're juicing the balls? I don't know. It's something that early in the season, you just have to ask yourself, I hate to bring it up, but Tim Anderson was asked about the Josh Donaldson suspension, and he said, I don't want to be friends with him, so let's just leave it at that. Point blank, period. He said, ask me and I'll tell you. Don Mattingly, boom. And why hasn't the front office brought him back to manage at some point before this season? You know what? You're right. Don Mattingly, he was a great Yankee. He was a hitting coach with the Yankees for several years. I just don't understand how or why they haven't brought him back to be a manager. But we're talking about the same Yankees, DSJ, that they didn't allow Yogi Berra in the stadium for years because he had a beef with the owner. You know, it's the same Yankees that refused to give Willie Randolph an interview for the managerial job when they got rid of Joe Torre. You know, so it's a lot of things that go into it. Honestly, me, I would love to see either Willie Randolph, Tony Pena, or Carlos Beltran get a shot as a manager in baseball, especially Tony Pena. Tony Pena was with the Yankees not just with Joe Girardi, but also with Joe Torre. You know, so Tony Pena has years going back with the Yankees, you know. That's just how I look on it, you know. But then Keith says the offensive numbers are way down this year, and you could blame the lockout. I think, hey, that could be it as well. Some players, you know, when they were locked out, they didn't have access to, you know, the facilities to go work out and get ready for the season like they had in prior years. So you had a lot of major league players working out at Planet Fitness trying to get ready for the major league season, and it just doesn't pan out the same. You know what I'm saying? I think they changed the ball and been doing more random tests. Yeah, that as well. That as well. But if you've seen the interview, I forgot what former major league player said it. But basically, nowadays, any player could pass the drug test that goes on. You just got to know when the test is going to happen. Like Melky Cabrera. You guys remember Melky Cabrera when he was with the San Francisco Giants that one year? He won the NL batting title. He was, you know, was having an awesome year. The only reason he tested positive for steroids was because that he forgot he had a day game instead of a night game. So he just messed up his timing when it came to him when he should take something, when he shouldn't take something. You know, and then you have Major League Baseball. I think this offseason they came out and said that they're not going to test for certain PEDs anymore. They're going to test for other stuff, but they're going to test for certain PEDs. So, hey, you know, if they're going to allow the players to get away with it, they're just in it for the profits, you know. Yeah, DSJ, remember Cabrera. Yep. He said Carlos Beltran and Tony Pena are very deserving. Yeah, especially Tony Pena. And I'm going to keep, you know, I'm going to be one of those guys that's going to be champion for Tony Pena to get a job as a major league umpire. I mean, as a major league manager. He needs to be a manager in this game. You know, and that's what upset me the most when it comes to Aaron Boone, because the Yankees' reasoning for firing Joe Girardi, this was the reasoning that they said they fired Joe Girardi. They said they fired Joe Girardi and brought in Aaron Boone because they needed somebody who could closely relate to these players, specifically Gary Sanchez, right? Specifically Gary Sanchez, and somebody who could have conversations with Gary Sanchez and who could, you know, be able to mature Gary Sanchez. If that was your reasoning for firing Joe Girardi, then why hire Aaron Boone? If your reasoning is you need a manager who can relate to your players, specifically Gary Sanchez, Tony Pena would have been your perfect guy for the job. Tony Pena would have been a perfect manager for Gary Sanchez. One, he is a former catcher. Two, they're both Dominicans. They can speak the same language. And three, they're from the same part of DR. So it's a cultural aspect from it. You know, just like in PR, DR, you got different parts of the island with different cultural things happen in different parts. You know, yes, everybody's Puerto Rican. Yes, everybody's Dominican. But, you know, some people in San Macaris are different than some people that are from the capital. You know, it's just a cultural thing. And Tony Pena would have been the perfect guy to be the manager for Gary Sanchez. And I think the Yankees dropped the ball on it. He said Tony Pena would never be a manager at the Yankees. Don't even dream about it. Hey, we all know why. But, you know, I could dream. You know, I could have the little birdies flying around my head and dreaming. But Carlos Beltran is somebody that I think, you know, he was a part of that Astros team that, you know, was caught with the trash can thing. And it's funny, me and Ope, we was in a cab at like 2 a.m. when that news dropped, literally like drunk, and like literally had like the only argument. And the cab driver pulled over and like kicked us out of the cab like around 70th something street. We come from 40th Street and we got kicked out around 70th or 80th Street arguing about that. But Tony Pena is somebody I think should be a manager. If it's not with the Yankees, should be with another team. Just like Carlos Beltran as well. Joe Girardi got a chance back with the Phillies. So, hey, anything can happen. But tonight's game, I'm just read off the starters, and then we can take a break and come back tomorrow. But I want to see for tonight's game. It's a 7:05 start. The Yankees are bringing up J.P. Sears. He said, "Why we always got kicked out places? Because we don't know how to act, Midope. That's why." But you got Tyler Wells on the bump for the Oreos, and you got J.P. Sears. J.P. Sears, he's just like a reliever this year. He pitched 2 innings for the Yankees. He hasn't given up a run. His whip is 1.50. He has 2 strikeouts, no home runs given up. So hopefully we could get 4 or 5 solid innings out of J.P. Sears and just pass it over to the bullpen. That's always could be something. But hey, the lineups aren't out yet. The lineups, they come out later on in the day. But we already know that Giancarlo Stanton is not going to be in that lineup. We already know that DJ LeMahieu's not going to be in that lineup. So you can expect Aaron Hicks. You can expect Estevan Florio. Hopefully we get Miguel Andujar today. A sighting for Miguel Andujar, guys, because he almost got one yesterday. I thought he got it. It was literally at the warning track. But hey, that's all for today. Love you guys. Like I said, make sure you wake up and get that cup of coffee. It's been another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew. Peace.